Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the weekly wind-up here on Zwift Community Live. I'm Nathan Guerra, your host, and this is our weekly show where we talk about what's been going on Zwift over the last week and what's coming up over the week to come. If you want to interact with the broadcast today, you can do so with our live integration of the social media, so make sure to be tweeting at Z Community Live, or go ahead and make a comment over on our Facebook, and we can bring you right on in to the broadcast. A quick little example for you of that. Make sure to leave your question or comments here for live interaction in the broadcast, or tweet at Z Community Live. So make sure to bring those right on in, and we will be able to involve you in the conversation. As the focus here is all about the community. I'm going to welcome to the broadcast my co-host today, Mr. Simon Schofield. Simon, how's it going here? Simon Schofield from the Zwiftcast. Good to have you here.
Yo, dude, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. We've got a good show today. I hear that I was talking to Johnny earlier today, and the weather might be a little bit crazy over there. You can be Zwifting because things tend to be, it sounds like, almost hurricane-like over in the UK right now.
Weird is the word, Nathan. Weird. I looked out the window early this morning and it was yellow. Everything was yellow. The sky was yellow. The light coming in the window was yellow. The whole world turned kind of yellow.
Oh,
and there have been lots of reports of a red sun, like a bright red, like a blood red sun in the sky. And apparently the explanation is sand, lots of it, dragged up from the Sahara, scattered across the atmosphere, altering the way in which the light, the waveforms of the light come through the atmosphere. And yeah, we've had a pretty multicolored kind of a day, dude, actually.
The apocalypse. I heard a couple of people saying the apocalypse is coming to the UK. Well, interesting. Yeah. Definitely going to be some Zwifting going on, it sounds like. And actually, we have a little bit on the features just on what's been going on over the last week, Zwift related, actually, in relation to some UK weather, actually. But for the weekly wind-up, here are our 5 features that we're going to be chatting about. Last week, we did have the first go at Zwift group workout mode with our Workout Wednesday with Coach Hendy. Actually, last week was pretty fun. We had lead-out simulations, actually. So Coach Hendy went ahead and put us through what he said was the Andre Greipel lead-out. So we were Andre Greipel, and he went ahead and kind of coached us through how it is to hang on to each one of the ramps that happen during a lead out in a sprint, in like a Tour de France final on a sprint stage. So it was really cool. You can see an example right there of us actually doing the ramp up during the workout all together. And those wattages that you're seeing there are specific to my FTP, actually. So 455 watts there at the end for, I think it's like a 15 seconds. That's the final sprint to the line. Hendy was actually doing it with us there. It was really successful, actually. Had a lot of fun doing it. And make sure to follow on all the places for the next time that we will be doing the Coach Hendy rides, as they are definitely worth checking out with that group workout mode. Over the weekend, an amazing result, actually, over at Kona, actually. Lucy Charles, Lionel Sanders, both take second place, actually. Second place, both of them in the pro field, actually, amongst all of the finishers over at the Kona World Championship, Ironman World Championships. Amazing result for a couple of Zwifters, both level 25 Zwifters, actually, Lionel and Lucy Charles. They actually had a couple of really good promos that they threw out onto their social medias, as well as I think it's just on their Facebook, and they did throw it on Twitter, I believe. So you want to check out these videos that you see right here. We are going to be playing them perhaps over the next week or so, just as a little bit of a show about, wow, this is pretty amazing, the accomplishment. I believe Lucy is an up and coming, just started in actually to the pro field in this past year. So pretty amazing. Lionel was looking for that first place. He actually got chased down in the run in the final miles actually, but still an amazing result out there to this past weekend at Kona. We also have obviously the SCR series is going on, and here is how things turned out last week in race number 5 in the SCR series. Let's just make sure we have, I believe we do have the volume here coming through. Work with, I think now only 10 beats to work with, really up into 172, 173. He's going from way out, 12 watts per kilogram. He's not waiting for the downhill, boys and girls. He did this last time. Will he be rewarded for it? Will he be able to continue on with this attack here? He's got a gap. He doesn't want to play around with any kind of lead out trains. He is the lead out train. Boniface, 9 watts per kilogram. Kim Little trying to chase it down. Will he be able to kick up and over the top once he catches him? But it's a 2-second gap now. They're matched watt for watt now at this point. 8 watts per kilogram, 8 watts per kilogram. Now Boniface continuing on. Kim Little looks to be unable to close it down. It will be Boniface as we look over the shoulder, I believe, unless Kim Little's got one last kick. It's only 300 meters, 2 seconds to the line. This is 1 and 2 in the series, and Boniface looking to show his dominance in the series. Now fading though. Will he be able to make it to the line before Kim can catch him? 22 meters. He's got it. It looks like it will be Brett Boniface, ODZ for the W. Kim Little follows it up. Grimshaw now with the 3rd place. Jumps right on in to that top 5, I believe, with that 3rd place finish. Following up by Johnson for 4th. And he'll be jumping up in the... So that was last week's finish, actually, in the SCR race number 5 series. Brett Boniface wins, edging closer to the series lead, actually, in that series. He's still sitting in 2nd place, but the largest series out on Zwift currently right now, and I believe we will be having Martin Jortvik, actually, the race director, as a guest today on the show. So you can shoot some questions and comments his way. Make sure to bring those on in. But this is actually an interesting sprint because Boniface has been doing this often lately in the races. He's been going from way out, actually, rather than waiting for the last 200 meters. A lot of times we've seen those kicks in the last 200 meters or so, but it seems to be a new tactic that I've seen used by Brett specifically. Tim Cartwright's used this before as well. Simon, anything that, I mean, this is a new tactic. I'm seeing it, and actually I wanted to bring you in on this because it seems kind of cheapo, not cheapo, but Cipollini, the Super Mario type efforts there being thrown down by Boniface from way out, and making sure he's been rewarded actually for this over and over again.
Yeah, it's all about just having the power to hang on, isn't it? Going on, I've always thought going on is a pretty risky tactic, actually. But interestingly, your guest of last week, whose name for the moment escapes me, the winner of the crit final, he was worried.
Aaron Dunn.
Aaron Dunn. Yep. Yeah. Aaron. Sorry, Aaron. He was really worried about an attack from Pat Shaw, I think, going very long. And I think we saw some long attacks in that E-Crit series. Risky, isn't it? I mean, really risky, because when you die, when you fade so quick. I mean, if you've got somebody coming up really hard on your tail and you fade, it's kind of disproportionate how quickly the distance is shut down. But, if you've got the strength, if you've got the endurance, if you train for it, if you can hang on, it can be, as we just saw then, it can be a really good tactic. I mean, it takes quite a lot to beat Mr. Little, doesn't it?
And I think that's the thing that's being watched out for sure here. I have a feeling that he's playing to his strengths here in the races because I think Kim might have a stronger kick, and I think Brett maybe has been beat in some sprints in the past and is just making sure that he's playing to his strength and able to get enough of a gap and then hold on to it from way out. So it seems like it's working out for him. We'll see if a few others, though, start to counter that and figure out what he's up to here and start to hang on the wheel or just be ready for that attack a little earlier on, actually. Z Kreider, I do see a lot of comments, actually. Say that. Go ahead, Simon.
I wonder if he trains for it specifically, Nathan, because that must be a tough session, because I mean, he's on the edge, isn't he, as he starts his sprint. So imagine a training session where you get yourself to the edge and just train yourself to go out longer and hang on that bit longer every time. That would be a tough training session, I think.
Yeah, it's like he's like up into like 170s already and then kicks for a full minute. Like that clip was a minute long right there, and it was nothing but like 100. I'm seeing right now 183 beats per minute or so as he kicks through here, as he makes his way to the line right now. I mean, and he's fading though. He's gotten the gap, but you can see he's 6.3, 7.3 watts per kilogram. He's no longer has the orange numbers, and you can see the guys coming to the line there still have the orange numbers to give at the end there. So, you know, it's definitely a non-traditional sprint. It's not a 200, 300 meter sprint, but he's found a niche that's worked for him because he did the same thing last week, actually, on the London course, and is always the most aggressive rider later. So he's had a lot of really great results recently after coming out of his series, actually, real life. I think he's racing domestically in real life, actually. So and
I guess it's the real killer metric there is that 1 minute power, isn't it? But it's 1 minute power when you're already on the red line, and that, you know, it's some skill, that real some skill.
Yeah, when you've already gone over and over and over again. I think that was on the figure eight. That was a figure eight. So they've done one climb up and over the top of Watopia reverse, and then they did one Watopia forward, and those times were like in the 330s. It was like just crazy fast. And it's actually been this is actually a topic that we should have a conversation about maybe at some point, either on the Zwiftcast or on here. It's not planned for today, but we could have a whole topic on, you know, the racing getting faster and faster, and if there's fitness that's involved in this, and how these racers are progressing actually through their Zwift racing. And also we can throw in there, well, they're getting faster and faster. Who are the robots too? So there is that whole idea too.
Yeah,
you know,
there is. I mean, I think the other thing is the good guys are getting gooder, but also, you know, strength and depth of field. I mean, I'm not at the top of my game at the moment, and I entered a C race. I mean, we know what C races are like anyway. You know, let's just say there's a few B riders in there, and I place myself in that category because really I should be at the back of the B group rather than at the front of the C group. But I thought the strength of the opposition in that C race I raced was pretty full on, and I guess we're seeing more Zwifters. But we're also seeing Zwifters coming back to racing for maybe the second or third indoor racing season. And they're learning tricks, aren't they? And they're making those tricks stick.
Yeah, learning tricks. And I think there's a lot of tricks, as well as, like you said, the level is being increased. And there's just the reality that the other day I saw over 2,000 Zwifters on in September and October. That, I mean, there's just, the fields are just bigger. You know, so you have the entire effect of a larger field of higher end racers pushing it at the front, which makes the racing faster. So, all right, so that's what's going on with racing. While we're talking about racing, here's the schedule for the week. We will be doing, it's a little bit shortened up schedule a little bit, but Monday, obviously, we have the weekly windup that's going on right now. Tomorrow, we got Kiss America's AM with the KRT Racer Focus with Ian Anderson. Kiss Europe race tomorrow as well will be covered. We have the SCR race series, as well as Thursday, we have Kiss America's with KRT Racer Focus again, and Kiss Europe as well. And then I will be flying actually out to CA, California on Thursday for TwitchCon. For anybody that is showing up to that, we can meet up. I think we're even going to have a ride going on at some point too. So pretty cool. Okay, next up though on our features today, the Zwift Academy is done, and 124 Quebec bikes were donated actually with the men's program. 9,000 enrolled, 9,234. And 1,245 graduated. So, and there's 0 minutes left. It's over. And then in the women's, though, program, they actually had 2,161, but 528 graduated. That is like an interesting percentages there. And I know, Simon, you had some things to add there about that. I mean, what's the percentage difference there? It looks like that's 25%. Graduated out of, or right around there, I believe, out of how many enrolled?
Yeah, well, I mean, it looks at maths, as you guys say. It's not my strong point, but I mean, just looking at those figures there, you can see that roughly a quarter of the women graduated, and about somewhere between 10 and 15%, maybe 12% of the men graduated. So why? I mean, there's such a wide disparity of figures there in the proportion of entrants who graduated. Now, one explanation might be women are just much more committed. They're just maybe more committed riders. But we talked about this on the Zwiftcast. There was this killer statistic passed to me by somebody inside Zwift who saw it. And when she saw it, she went back to the person who told it to her and questioned it, because it was such a mind-boggling kind of knock me down, I'll go to the foot of our stairs statistic. And it was 85% of the people who enrolled for the female academy were the same people. And I don't just mean 85% of Zwift, I mean 85% were the same individuals, the exact identical individuals who'd done the program the year before. So that could be an explanation, that they knew what they were letting themselves in for. They maybe, that they had all that experience from completing or at least taking part in the program the year before. And that may be one possible explanation. I mean, the second explanation might be, I saw this comment kind of crop up somewhere on one of the many Facebook forums to do with Zwift, and some guy said, yeah, there's 9,000 guys or 10,000 guys, however many it was, 9,000 guys suddenly realizing that training is hard. And sticking to a program and doing the prescribed workouts is difficult, and I think that might be reflected in the numbers completed. I must say I'm disappointed with that. I don't know what Zwift will think of that. I would have expected a higher proportion of graduates, wouldn't you?
Well, I think yes, a little bit. At the same time, I'll give that it's the second time around for the women. And so you have a lot of women who are maybe, like you said, more committed to the community of it. And I think the way the sale was a little bit up front of Zwift Academy for the men's program had this pro contract thing. And then the U23 got thrown in the middle of it. And, I think that there's a little bit of that in the midst of that too with the numbers. And so, I have a feeling that the second time around with the men, I think we'll have similar things. And I think the percentages just go up and up and up, I would think. I mean, unless at the same time, Zwift could get a lot bigger in the next year. And then the percentage of graduates to how many enroll might actually go down. You know what I mean? But you'll have more graduated. And I think that's the number that really matters, is how many graduated. I mean, that's still a pretty good number of graduates. I mean, total, we're looking at between the two. Let's see here real quick. So we've got 1,245. I didn't do all the math on it, but we're looking at about 17 to 1,800. 17 to 1,800, about almost 1,800 graduates out of 10,000-ish. So you're looking at almost a 20% rate of graduates. So, okay, I'll give you that, Simon. A little bit disappointed. We're trying to hit what, 30, 40%, but at the same time, you jump in, it's really easy to hit some buttons, sign up, all this stuff, and then you have a rigorous program where you actually have to complete the training. So those are two really different things, signing up and actually completing a workout program. When you think about that and how many people actually usually complete a workout program that just sign up real quick, that's free, I think that's actually not that bad at the 20% rate.
Yeah. No, I think you're probably right. It may be a bit harsh to say it's disappointing. I'd like to get sight or sound or just some indication from Zwift about what their expectations were in terms of how many people what proportion of men might graduate. I think that would be really interesting to know. And the second thing is, I think there's, general consensus within Zwift that for the men, this was a first attempt, and they would definitely take some learnings from it. I mean, to me, the two most obvious learnings were there is this slight difficulty about what is the academy. Is it a talent competition or is it a community builder? This time it's tried to be both. I'm not certain that that's the best way of doing it. And, the second thing I think is timing. I still maintain that the academy has come very, very early in the indoor season.
Yep. We have comments, actually. Lee Prouty is saying that. We have a couple others saying exactly that, actually, in the community right now.
And I know when we spoke to Tom Hargreaves, the guy at Zwift who's kind of been looking after the whole program, he definitely didn't rule out the possibility of something similar being reprised this season, this indoor season, maybe a bit later. I don't know, possibly start in January. And it'd be interesting to see if not the pro contract element, but the community building element. It'd be interesting to see if they go ahead with that. So
we do have some comments coming in. Here's Henry Hardy. Notice Simon doesn't have a green triangle by his name now. Did he fail to graduate? Well, neither does Nathan.
He failed to sign up. He failed to even enroll, Henry, actually.
I had one next to my name. I didn't finish either. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, so, I mean, shoot me down in flames. How can I possibly criticize people who didn't graduate when I didn't even enroll? Shame on me.
Looking through here a little bit of the comments. Was that construction crane on Watopia before? There's a construction train on Watopia. All I know is that there's currently a sit-in going on right now, protest next to for those of you who do not know, there's currently a Zwift justice protest taking place right where the construction is on the Watopia Mountain. Head on over there. There's one avatar right there for sure right now. Hashtag We Are G Master. And you can join the sit-in.
Who started this campaign, Nathan?
I don't know.
Started this campaign? Yeah, I think you do. I think you know
man.
who started.
It's just a little bit of fun with sitting next to the construction. All right, I'm making our guests wait for way too long. Here we go. So we do have with us actually one of the longest standing series out on Zwift, actually established in 2015, an SCR race series, actually one of the longest standing by far. And Martin Jortvik actually has been nice enough to join in with us for the broadcast, the SCR race series director. Martin, welcome to the broadcast. Good to have you here. How's it going today over in Sweden?
Yeah, thank you very much. Late evening here in Sweden, kids to bed, and I'm ready to join you here.
Appreciate it so much, Martin. It's really good to have you on the broadcast, actually. And as we usually do with anything community related, we definitely want to hear a little bit of background about SCR and yourself and Zwift. So how long have you been Zwifting for, and what's your background with starting up SCR with Zwift?
I started Zwift in August 2015, and me and a friend started the SCR group, just the two of us, in the 22nd of September 2015. And we have seen some Swedish guys riding on Zwift, so we thought, why not have a Swedish group? We couldn't find anyone on Zwift, so just a few weeks after, we had like 10 or 15 people join the group. And right after that, we had our first group ride. We think 5 or 6 people, Swedes, riding around. And that was the start of the SCR. And we have been growing enormously since then. Right now, today, I think we're around 2,300 members in the Swedish group. And it keeps growing every week. More and more people joining us. So it's enormously fun.
So your role with SCR is not just race director, then it sounds like it's also kind of a team director, group leader amongst the SCR team.
Yeah, I started a Facebook group, and then we started a team SC. It wasn't me who started it. It was 2 other guys who were going to ride the world champion. What was it called?
Team Worlds
in in November 2015. So they started a group, and then I got enrolled. I was asked to join Vision, but I've already started the team SC then, or joined them. So,
which I'm glad you did. Because you guys have 2,000 plus members as a part of this team, and you guys. So it's not just racing though. You guys also have group rides. It looks like. Is that right? You guys run other events besides racing out on Zwift. What other events do you guys have going on?
Monday evenings we have SCR evening joyride, we call it. We have 3 or 4 groups riding the A, B, C, and D, and we have another sub 2 starting just 10 minutes after, so we can cover all kind of rider types, so everyone can join in on the fun. And usually have around 300 to 400 riders in these rides. At peak last winter, I think in January, we had 350 riders in that event.
On the Monday night ride, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Right on.
That's a huge group ride.
Then with the race series, it looks like, I mean, currently it's the largest race on Zwift, it seems. I mean, the last couple of weeks, it's been 400 to 500, right in that range of riders joining in. So it's been really successful as far as the numbers go. And right now, we actually do have the series standings here. I'm going to bring these in really quickly for the viewers here. And there are races for A, B, C, and D categories. Are you separating out women as well?
No, not this year. Everyone is in the normal categories. So it's A, B, C, and D categories.
Gotcha. So A, B, C, D categories, and there are no power-ups in these races. Do you want to talk about why no power-ups in the races and why you guys go that direction?
Yeah, when we started the first races, we had a lot of people complaining about the power-ups. So we started the first SCR series, I think it was early 2016. And from the beginning, it was just meant to be a local Swedish race among Swedes. But quite soon we saw that more and more people wanted to join in. And we had a simple spreadsheet from the beginning, filling in the points every week and so on. And then we got Swift Power, and a whole new era started with the points and the series. So it's been amazing with the Swift Power and all the help we get from them.
Yeah, they're huge community benefit for sure, especially around racing and events for sure right now. So we do have a lot of competition at the top end of the series right now. For anybody looking to get involved in the SCR series, obviously we do cover it as one of our main races on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. That is BST, British Standard Time. It would be 7 p.m. in Sweden, I believe, if I'm not incorrect, Martin. Then you guys also look to have a sponsor, if I'm not incorrect, actually. Do you want to chat a little bit about that?
Yeah, I got contacted by Cykloteket, as it's called in Sweden, and they were very friendly and wanted to help us with some sponsorship. I thought it would be kind of bottles and small things, but all of a sudden we presented the prize list, and it was Elite Diretto as a first prize, and some nice helmets and some other stuff. And I threw in some Swift bottles also that I've got from Swift last year. So unfortunately, they weren't so happy to pay postage around the world.
That's understandable, though, Martin. I mean,
3 times to send a bottle to Australia, and
yeah,
and the bottle costs.
You like triple how much the prize list is worth, right?
Yeah, but we are very happy to have them, and it seems to be enjoyed very much by the Swedish audience, because we have. Last week we had about 120 riders in the race, and it's been growing every week also. And as you said, we had 450 riders signed up for the race just before the start, and we had about 380, I think, joined the race, and around 335 or so, but got all the way to the finish line. So the numbers has been rising all the last couple of weeks.
And how do the prizes work? Because that's going to be a question right away from anybody in the community. It's a random raffle for if you finish, or how does that work exactly?
It's a random raffle every week. All the prizes will be randomly selected to winners who enter the race. And the biggest prizes will be among the racers who have been racing at least 12 of the 15 races. So it's a little encouragement to join in the race for every week.
Yeah, so for those of you who do not know how the SCR series works, they are it's a 15-week series run from September 13th through the 20th of December, 2017, and you take the best of your 12 races to count towards the series. So it sounds like if you're from Sweden and you're looking to get in on the prizes that are here, then you do need to do, well, at least the top end prizes. Make sure you're completing 12 of the races, as Martin was just letting us know. So absolutely awesome. This is pretty amazing. Well, let's take another look real quick at the current standings, though. Kim Little sitting in first place currently in the A category with 78 points, but he's got Brett Boniface here, as we were looking at earlier. Brett's been using that sprint at the end. And Ben, definitely, I would say, most aggressive rider recently. Martin, wouldn't you think so in the A category?
Yeah, Brett, he is amazing. I think he's doing all these crazy long sprints at the end. I can't see how he does it, but it's really hard. Really hard.
Yeah, definitely. And then in the B category, we do have Per Vidar Avelsberg. Tony, do you know some of these people personally then at all that are on the team for SC then?
Yeah, most of the Swedes in the team SC I know quite well, virtually anyway. I haven't met most of them, but
isn't that great
every week in our Facebook group.
Isn't that great about Zwift, though, that the connections that are made virtually, I mean, they're really long-lasting, and they really do push each other on. So definitely amazing. I definitely want to get a mention here for all the top three, at least, though, within the series. Per Vidar Avelsberg, Tony Axelson, followed up by Peter Hicks in the B category. That's your top three here. In the C category, we do have, it looks like, Fredrik Ornlid, Magnus Brobach, and then Rickard Johansson in the top three. Martin could probably correct me on those pronunciations, though. I think
that's the best you can do in English.
The best you can do in English. Shots fired at English, boys and girls. Oh, boy. And then we got Peter Jaderad, followed by Donald O'Donovan, and then Jan Anderson in the top three as well. The Vikings, though, coming out of Sweden, riding for Vikings. Maybe a little bit of contract negotiation needs to take place there from the SCs. But Martin, absolutely great job. I mean, the hours, it seems like, that we're putting up front to make this happen. It's talking about spreadsheets, the early days of Zwift when we were trying to figure out how do we do this racing stuff. That was probably a huge struggle up front, I would think. Yeah,
from the beginning it was fun. Everybody had to meet at the start-finish line, and always had someone who didn't have the correct clock settings, and it's been but since we got the pens and can start all at the same time, it's been much better, and I think everyone's enjoying it, even if it's a crazy start every week. But that's the life in Zwift right now, and I think most of us like it.
Yeah, it's definitely a crazy all-out from the gun start, but it's good for you. Get that HIT training in. So, Martin, I really appreciate you taking the time to jump in with us tonight and feature the SCR race series as well as the group rides. Make sure not to miss out on those. And if you want to join these, you can, obviously, again, 6 p.m. BST time on Wednesday. The SCR series, and then the group ride is just Mondays. Is there any other SC rides?
We have group rides on Tuesday evenings also, same time, 19:20, sorry, and then we have the Friday mornings at 6 a.m. Swedish race called Musette, which is an early morning race, a short race, and Tuesday we have a lunch race. at 12 Swedish time or 11 BST. So there are quite a number of different SCR events you can join.
And those are all in-game events that people can jump into and join. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for all your work and support of the community. Really appreciate it, Martin. And we will see you at the races on Wednesday.
Yeah, I will hopefully join this week too. We'll
be watching out for you. We'll definitely be shouting out Martin. If you join, you better send me a Facebook message and let me know that you're racing so we can find you out on course.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot for jumping in with us. I appreciate it so much, Martin. And we'll see you on Wednesday then.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And that was Martin Jortvik from one of the longest standing series out on Zwift. That is the SCR race series that is going on. That is the series from September through December. Your best 12 will be counted. So you go ahead and jump in if you've already done a couple already. Simon, what an effort to be a race director out on Zwift, though. I mean,
well, I'd just like to add my voice to, I'm sure that many in support of those. I was going to say Swedish, but I think Scandinavian probably covers it, but certainly Sweden's where it started. And that is probably the group ride I may have done the most. I did it this evening. I did the SZR group ride this evening.
Wait, you rode on Zwift? You were riding?
Yeah.
You were actually riding?
Yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean, Nathan? I'm always riding on Zwift. And anyway, I told you earlier, it went all yellow and red and multicolored here.
The apocalypse pushed everyone to Zwift.
Yeah. God, it was way too weird to go outside. But those group rides, the joy rides, they're brilliant. I mean, they started in way early days of Zwift. I mean, they were really one of the first group rides during the weekday evenings, and they've always been really super well disciplined, really well marshaled. They've got great kit this year. They've got really nice kit, and I've been a long time supporter of those rides. As I say, I've done loads and loads of them. The good thing about them is that there's a group ride, 3 laps, and it's a bit like the Aussie HDR one. There's then an optional race for the last lap if you want to do that. And that's really good because you're nicely warmed up, and if you feel that you've got the legs, you can have a bit of a spin and a bit of a hard workout for the last lap. Really great guys, really great guys. Can't say enough good about the Swedish organisers and all the Scandinavian riders you see on those rides. They're really good.
Yeah, super well organized. I think that is a cool little feature too, a part of the group rides when they run them like that, where there isn't the pressure of a race where it's like, oh, I have this like result at the end and I'm going to feel bad if I don't do well. But at the same time, you kind of have this camaraderie that's going on and let's give it a go. And then it doesn't really, it matters, or you feel good at the end if you out sprint your buddy, but it doesn't have this like personal reflection on how well I did then at the end. And some people don't want that in racing, so it's a cool little way to get
I always think that the good thing about these group rides that end in a race is you don't get that mad 4, 5, 6 kilowatts.
Don't we like that? Wait a second. That's how you're supposed to race. That's what racing is.
Well, yeah, it is. But, I remember the early days. We used to have that. Do you remember the neutralized rollout?
Lead out. Yeah, the lead out to the sprint. Yeah, I remember. Definitely.
And, they were a bit anarchic at times. But the best thing about that was that you did have a chance to get kind of up to speed, if you know what I like. For us slightly more mature gentlemen, it takes us a little while to get... Takes a little while to get the steam rising.
That's a great way to put it. Those who are more mature on Zwift. Oh boy. Mature racing. Okay, we're going the wrong direction now. Here we go.
Yeah, no, I think we might. But yeah.
I'm looking through the comments here real quick. Go ahead, Simon.
No. Go. Do comments.
Okay. Just looking through some comments here real quick just to see if we have anything coming through. A couple of comments coming from Anthony Porsche saying, I think it's because the people over 21, they had nothing to gain from completing it. They're talking about this with the Academy. Other than maybe incentive needed. That's a good point. Well, you do get in-game jerseys and things. I mean, I don't think I don't think the high percentage rate of women completing for Zwift Academy, back to the Zwift Academy thing, necessarily had a lot to do with whether or not they were going for a pro contract. I don't know. Do you think there were that many that were, maybe with that less enrollment, maybe a lot of, I could see 500 plus trying to shoot for the pro contract. So I'll leave that alone now, but I'm seeing SCR rules. Quentin LaFay coming in here. Martin Jortvik, a true gent from Andrew Shuttler. He has spreadsheets. Yes, he has spreadsheets. Ian Anderson. Wait, SCR has a spreadsheet. Oh boy. Here we go. Zach Rogers. Where's Zach Rogers when we need him to be interacting with the broadcast? Okay, that's the comments I can see coming through so far that are pertinent to what we have going on. Again, if you want to interact with the broadcast, make sure to tweet at Z Community Live or go ahead and make a comment over at the Facebook. Next up on our features, though, this week we have the Chain Gain 24 going on. And this is a 24-hour race event, actually, that is going to be happening on October 20th, actually, through the 21st. And we actually have one of the participants joining in with us. Andy Jackson from Teen Innovation, actually, is going to be going for a record attempt as a part of this. Welcome to the broadcast, Andy Jackson from Teen Innovation. And how's it going over there? In Yorkshire?
Hi, Nathan, good to see you. Yes, in Yorkshire, in England, yes.
Yeah, okay. And I think we need, give me 1 second here. Your microphone is just a little bit off there for some reason. Maybe we can try, if you can bring it maybe a little bit closer, we can give it another try there. Got it?
How's that?
Yeah, it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. A little bit robot. We might need to go to Discord with it, but maybe try re-upping. Go ahead and refresh. Maybe try refreshing, and we'll go ahead and chat a little bit about what you are after here with the 24-hour after you refresh. All right, so Andy Jackson, he is going to be from Innovation. He's going to be doing a 24-hour record attempt during the Chain Gain 24. He is going to be utilizing this platform at this aim of hitting the world record that currently stands, I believe, by Chris Hopkinson, that set it right around, I believe it is 482 miles total out on Zwift during 24 hours, actually. Andy actually has a lot of huge success actually in real life, actually. Amateur cyclist, former Great Britain age group triathlete, high profile UCI time trialer. He actually is 6th place in the recent CVR World Cup in Paris. And he's also a bike company owner with Evo 2 Max, actually, and a coach. So let me see here, as far as his past results go, you can actually see him here in a national 12-hour 2017 bronze medal with 306.7 kilometers. Is that kilometers, I believe, in the CTT, and then the UMCA World Championships 2016, actually, which he is heading back over to this year. He was the 6-hour champion and record holder at 145 miles. So absolutely killer. Andy, let's go ahead and try that mic one more time. Let's see if we can hear you. One more. Let's go ahead and see if I can. Let's see if I got him. Yeah, we're not connecting the mic for some reason there. If we try and grab you maybe in Discord and have you on the video at the same. There we go. I hear you now. Go ahead.
Yeah, we got me now.
Perfect. Yep.
Excellent.
Got you now.
Nathan,
yep, we got you now.
I need to correct you. In the 12 hour, it was 307 miles, not kilometers.
Oh, miles.
It was a long day out.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for the correction. I really do appreciate that.
And also, we think the 24-hour record is actually, Chris set it originally on Zwift. We think now Yasmin Muller beat that when she was doing her ride over 1,000 miles. So we think she beat that and put around 505 miles. I think something like that. So it's a big ask.
It's a huge ask, and it's going to be quite the effort coming up here. How have you been preparing for this? Now, okay, that's the first question. Are you preparing specifically for this I would think this is kind of in conjunction with your World Championship in real life training.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, my season this year has been about long distance. I've done 3 12-hour races so far, and I'm going to California UMCA 12-hour in time. This cow, chatting with the innovation guys who I race and ride in the morning and who I went to CVR to represent, we were having a bit of banter on Facebook messaging about this event, the Chain Gang event. Let's go for it as a team. And then it was, oh, cousin Andy do it alone, and we'll ride and see how far we can go. And it's sort of from a bit of fun to, my God, we're going to do this, we're going to do it here, and we'll try and raise some money for good. So it's sort of snowballed in the last 2 weeks or so. So I'm getting a little apprehensive now, to say the least.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be quite a long day in the saddle. Now, you spoke about being a part of a charity and things. So what's that all about, and what is the event going to be like? Like there's a lot that goes into this. It looks like you're planning with a spreadsheet, trying to get as many people as you can to join you. I think Jasmine did something similar, actually. She had a spreadsheet to get as many people around her to use that group effect, right? And that's probably has something to do with the super high speed she had.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we were talking about okay, how far we go, and saying project 858 kilometers doesn't really ever do it. So we came up with project 1,000 kilometers, with a huge ask to hit 1,000 kilometers, averaging 42 kilometers an hour for 24 hours. The only way we've got a chance of doing that is with a big draft effect. So we've, the guys at Innovation have been great. We've put together a timesheet for people to join rides at different times around the world between 2000 British summertime on Friday until 2000 on Saturday to support me and provide draft. Also, the guys in Innovation are also going to be setting up group rides at times through the day and night, so people can join in and hopefully support the speed that we will try to achieve then. So the key for me is going to be hang on. I've got an idea what's per kilo I need to ride at to achieve that, and I'm hoping I can do it. I think it's going to be a huge. What we also came to then was, let's not just for the fun of it. Let's make do it for good cause. So particularly close to one on the team is the cerebral palsy charity Cerebra. So we decided, let's try and make something of this. Up a Just Giving page, justgiving.com/innovation cycling, for people to donate to this really great cause. The idea is really to give kids who cerebral palsy, they haven't the chance to do the things all of us do, so they support them to do something different and give them the chance of normal life, to ride the bike there. So we thought we'd put together some prizes, really simple. Donate £5, try and guess how far I'm going to go in that time period, and the winner who gets it right, there's some really good prizes with some great tech prizes, sporting prizes to give away. So it's worth having a look at. So that would be really good if you could do that for us. And it will help me in my account, and I need some to know that people are donating and that we're money for a good cause.
Yeah, that's amazing. So for charity, we did something similar over the weekend, actually, for the WBR with a super long 12-mile challenge. So that's awesome that you guys are doing that for Cerebra, I believe you said it was. We're having a little bit of connection issue between me and you here. I'm going to see if we can bring up the Chain Gang 24, though, for their website. Here's the website, actually, for the event itself. Let's go ahead and see if I can grab this real quick. So, welcome, Zwifters, 24-hour for Chain Gang Zwift team race. 4 days and 5 hours to go to the start of it. It looks like there's going to be 10 teams, 28 riders. Looks like this is what they're expecting to be doing here. And Andy Jackson, crazy challenge, actually. And here is the Just Giving page, actually. We were able to find that over on the website. See if I can go ahead and bring that in for you guys. I'm having a couple of course, amazing. That is not what we're looking for there. But we will try and bring that on in for you guys in just a moment here, but make sure that somebody links that up in the Facebook post for sure. And we'll go ahead. It looks like Andy Jackson, 1,000 kilometers in 24 hours. And cycling for those that can't page, actually. I'm going to go ahead and link this right now in the Facebook post, actually, so that everybody can see exactly what's going on with this. Great cause to be donating for, and amazing effort out there. And so what's going on? Let's see if we got a little bit of better connection between me and you now. So what's going on with then the World Championships for next week? When are you leaving for that? And what's your hopes?
Yeah, so I leave for that on the 27th of October, flying over to California. The race is in a place called Borrego Springs, which is about 80 miles inland from San Diego. It's run by the UMCA, who are the national governing body for ultramarathon cycling. They've been running the event for a few years, and it's building in popularity each year. It's an 18-mile loop in the desert. I'm entering, there's 3 races, 6-hour. I won the 6-hour last year, a 12-hour and a 24-hour. So after winning the 6, I thought I wanted to go back and give the 12-hour a go. I've raced quite well over 12-hour this year, so I'm quietly confident having a good race. Challenges will be, it was so hot last year. It was, when you're from England like me, you're not used to that amount of heat. 40 degrees hit mid-afternoon, and it was hell. But, you know, I'll be ready for it. I'll be prepared to help there, give me ice, keep me cool. So I'm quite confident we can have a good race.
Nice. And any concern about the smoke? That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Has there been any chatter or anything on the Facebook pages at all about the conditions in California right now?
To be honest, there hasn't. But I think, from what I understand, all of that is up the north of San Francisco.
It is on north. It is in the north, yeah. And you're like down by San Diego area. Is that right?
Yeah, this is sort of 80 miles inland from San Diego. It's probably only about 80, 90 miles from the Mexican border. So I think it's quite a long way from that area.
All desert. It's all desert. Yeah, gotcha.
It is. There's going on around there. There's a lot of desert, and that's about it. But it makes some race, sure. And it's great to have the best ultra cyclists in the world, you know, come to attend one event. And it'll be great to catch up with people we met last year, and, you know, people like Chris Hodgkinson who'll be there, you know, ultra cyclist who's completed so many events, ran a number of times, won so many ups. It's going to be great to have Chris there and riding one of our bikes, which is brilliant. Yeah,
well, that is the Evo 2 Max, right? Evo 2 Max is what you guys are going to be on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you know, our bike business that we set up, we wanted to create really great racing bikes that look fantastic, and you know, they do that. Chris has been racing them this year. I've been racing them now, and you know, people like the bikes, they do the job. So, you know, we're really excited to be taking them to America. I think we'll have 3 or 4 people within the race riding the bikes. So, you know, I'm hoping we can all perform and, you know, and show them off to the best of our ability.
Awesome. Very, very cool. Well, if you guys want to join up with Andy, obviously you can go and watch the UMCA race, but you can join him this weekend, October 20th, actually, for his 24-hour record attempt, actually. What are we shooting for, Andy, in that record attempt? Do you have a number in mind?
100. Yeah, 1,000. That's the target, 1,000 kilometers.
1,000 kilometers. Whew. It's going to be killer.
Let's see. It's a big target. It's a big target. The right support, and I need the motivation of people around me, people talking, people donating. Give me that. I'm quite mentally stubborn and never know what I can do then.
Heck yeah. And we look forward to that. Look forward to supporting that. We'll see if we can tune in with you when we can during your effort. And people, make sure to get out there with him. Make sure to follow Andy Jackson on your Zwift mobile link right now if you can. And if you plan on riding with him, all you got to do then is push ride with. And you can ride with Andy then while he's out there on the course and support him in both the support of the charity as well as in his support of trying to break the record that is currently out there, with Jasmine and Hoppo both holding the men's and the women's, it looks like, side of that. Great effort, Andy. Thanks a lot for joining in with us, and good luck this weekend as well as next week in California.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Nathan. See you soon.
Cheers. Thanks, Andy. Well, Simon, amazing effort being thrown out there by Andy. And it always, I mean, I've done some pretty big efforts out on Zwift, but this is a whole nother level. I think at 13 hours is the most I've ever done. And that was the first ever WBR event with the 24-hour event that they had. And I did a 13-hour to, just stream it and try and raise some money. What's your longest ride out on Zwift, Simon?
Oh, God, I don't do long rides, Nathan. I do short, hard rides. Yeah, that's my thing. Short, fast rides. I just got my calculator out, actually. So 1,000K in 24 hours, that's an average speed of over 41 kilometers an hour. That's 25 miles an hour for 24 hours with and that's not factoring in, you might need half an hour where you're just going to back off a little bit. I mean, if you're on Zwift soon, wind it up to 25 miles an hour and sit there for 5 minutes. That's quite tough. Actually, for most people, that's quite tough. I mean, clearly Andy is not most people, but
it's got some Palmares. I mean, look at this. I got a list of them here. I mean, this is winner gold in the CTT TTT 2015. I mean, he's just got a whole list of them, and this is all endurance stuff. It looks like a whole lot of them. Some pretty amazing things. And he's also got this, UK CTT National 12-hour bronze medal, 306 miles. I mean, he can do a pretty high effort for a long period of time, it looks like here.
I think the suspicion is he can ride a bike fast for a long time. But I mean, I watched Jasmine's, and I also watched Chris Hopkinson's distance efforts, and in the end, there's only one guy or one girl in the saddle. I mean, there's only one person who could do it. But it is true, or true in my experience when I had a kind of debrief interview with both of them. They are unfailing in their opinion that the support really, really, really helps. So just somebody to ride along with them for 1 minute, 10 minutes, half an hour, 40 minutes, or whatever, it really, really, really means something to them. It really, really does. So, like you say, try to make it easy for yourself to find Andy and just ride along with him for a little while, because it really will help him.
Yeah, usually in these efforts, we see these groups, these large groups, and you get these groupies almost like following along actually throughout the ride, where there's different people jumping in, and it's usually a large blob, as we've been calling it lately, going along down the roads of Zwift. I'm assuming they're going to be doing one of the flatter courses. Volcano Flat is the flattest course out there right now, so it'll be the fastest one they can do. I think they're going to be doing that. Yeah,
well, it makes sense. For sure it makes sense. I mean, he's clearly a tester. Testers like flat courses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think the other thing with the drafting situation is that you definitely will get a boost the larger the group is. And so the more people that you can get around them to support them, it'll be good. Toward the end of the effort, it's going to be about, well, here's the thing is like these other distance efforts reminds me of Ray Brown. Remember Ray Brown, who is a Ram?
Yeah.
Got all these Ram people who are doing this, right? And always running around in the pink level 20 kit often. He always had these huge miles going on and people jumping in with him. And then there's Jasmine, there's Hoppo, and it really is all about how many you can get around them a lot of times in order to assist in keeping things forward. So a great community event. Great job to Innovation putting this together, and awesome job to Andy throwing his hat in the ring. And Kevin Stevens says, 25 miles per hour. We'll join for 30 seconds, maybe, Kev says. Well, I don't know. With the group dynamic, I think you might be able to hang on longer than you think. I think a lot of times in the draft, you have to hold about 2.5 to 3.0 around that miles per hour. And they're not going to be doing big kicks. This is going to just be about set the pace and go all the way through. So
you make it sound almost easy, Nathan.
Well, for those who are supporting, I think it's not going to be too bad. I don't think it's going to be too bad. I think for those who are racing, it's going to be a whole nother thing. So that is the Chain Gang 24 October 20th. Jump on in, everybody. And I think that is going to be it for our features today on the weekly windup. For the Zwiftcast, you know, I see a lot of action on the Facebook group, a lot of back and forth. Simon, what's up next about the Zwiftcast?
Well,
There's a lot of people doing some, some shots fired in the Zwiftcast Facebook group.
Shall we just say there is more than a little pent-up excitement in the Zwift world at the moment about exactly when we're going to get the new extension. I mean, there was some disappointment it wasn't today. I mean, there was a rumor going around that it was going to be October the 16th. I always thought that was a bit kind of optimistic and ambitious. But this month is, as far as a nailed-on certainty exists in Zwift, this month is an absolute nailed-on certainty, I think. And I interviewed Lloyd Murphy a couple of days ago, and that feature's going to be appearing on the next Zwiftcast, which is going to be out kind of a day or so after the extension. We also, us three, myself, you, and Shane, we need to ride it so that we can talk about it with some degree of knowledge.
Speaking of, where is Shane? Sleeping.
Yeah, where is Shane?
He's sleeping.
He may be sleeping. In Melbourne, it's 8:05. He might be. We might have just.
Oh, no, he's up. He's up. Speaking of the next Zwiftcast and the expansion, does my wife not follow me on Zwift? What? What is going on here?
Why is this relevant?
Because I'm trying to go show that there's that the expansion isn't finished. She doesn't follow it. She doesn't use the Zwift mobile link. She just uses the app. So
she doesn't follow you on Twitter. Does she follow you on Twitter, Nathan, or Facebook?
Probably not.
Are you friends?
She doesn't follow me on anything.
On Facebook?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm not going to be able to show the current embargo or the sit-in over at, maybe I can get over there quick enough, but I don't think it's going to happen. Let's see if there's any more interactions real quickly here. Oh, he shouldn't be sleeping. Good luck, Andy. Lots of stuff coming through here. Thanks, Nathan Guerra. I can't wait and need your support. Please ride with me and the innovation team. Donate and guess the mileage. Sounds good. Oh yeah, and there are some giveaways actually that they are doing for the event. So make sure to head on over to that Just Giving page if you want to see what those are all about. Looking through a couple more comments here. And a good luck to Andy from Casey. Unlike you, she's a leader. Oh, Kev Steven with the shots fired there about Lindsay being a leader rather than. All right, we kept it short today. Not a 2-hour weekly windup. We kept it almost within an hour. Good job. We aren't too long-winded today. So looking forward to the next Zwiftcast. That sounds like that'll be hopefully within the next week, and we'll try and get that out there. People are asking for this to be a podcast. I think we're going to try and keep it in the realm here until a couple weeks in. I'll see if we can get things for some recording around this. We'll see what we can get done. Simon will have to train me on how to make that happen, though.
I'm not training a rival, Nathan. There's only one Zwift podcast.
I'm with you. I'm with you. 100%. I'm 100% with you, Simon. No, it will not be a podcast. This is not the Zwiftcast. We are doing this 100% live video. You got to tune in. You can watch the replay. They actually have the ability to just listen to the audio if you want to on Twitch and all the other places, I'm pretty sure. So just watch the replay and you're good to go. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks, Simon, for joining. I appreciate you very much. And we'll see you next week from Zwift HQ, actually, for the next weekly windup. We'll try and bring Simon in as well as Jonathan Noblet, actually, for the next one.
Cool.
All right. Thanks a lot, Simon, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.
Goodbye.
All right. Yep. See you later, Simon. And so that'll be it for the weekly windup, everybody. Appreciate everybody who tuned in. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that follow button, all the spaces, and we will bring you, you'll be able to get notifications of any time that we do go live on Zwift Community Live. Again, if you haven't seen it at the beginning, this is our schedule for the week. Just got done doing our weekly wind-up. Tomorrow will be the KISS AM with Ian Anderson, followed up by the KISS Europe race later in the day, SCR series, and then, of course, more KISS racing on Thursday. If you want to be featured on the weekly wind-up, make sure to contact us through our Facebook page or me directly, and we will grab you for a feature in order to check out whatever you're doing in the community. We are all about everything that is happening in the world of Zwift, the in real life effects of Zwifting, whatever goals that you're trying to shoot after, or any of the groups series or group rides. Last week we did the chop race was a feature, new things that you're looking to add to the world of Zwift, or accomplishments that you've had. We want to feature any of that. So we will then see you tomorrow for the KISS Europe race, and also make sure to tune in with Ian for his Racer Focused. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and catch you tomorrow. Right on.